Hey guys, welcome to week 3 of Slim Pickings. This week has been going better in terms of fasting. I've been more consistent. I think I've had definitely one day where I did a shorter fast, maybe 2. I don't remember for sure. But most of the days this week I have done consistent fasts. Actually, yeah, there was one where I did a decently long fast, but it wasn't as long as I usually do. Like, usually I'll stop fasting before lunchtime, but there was one day where I stopped after lunchtime around 2 or 2:30, but I still got like 17 or 18 hour fast in. And then the other one, I ended up breaking my fast early and then ate around like 4:30, and so my fast from then until the next day was like 15 hours or 13 hours or something like that. It was a lot shorter than it usually is. So I think it was just those 2 days, and the rest have been like closer to 20 hours or up to 22 maybe. So I've been doing a lot better with that this week, which is great. And I've been doing smoothies a lot. The blender that I got is awesome, and I love it. It works really well. Today I tried doing a little bit thicker smoothie than I had been, because I like them really thick, but the ones that I've been doing were almost as thick as I like them. But I tried doing a little bit thicker today, and I put just a very little bit of liquid to see if it could handle that. And it did, surprisingly. I had to like start it and then stop it, shake it up a bit, and then put it back in. But it actually did do it with barely any liquid, and it was so thick that like I flipped it back over and it would just stuck there, and it wouldn't like fall back down to the bottom because it was so thick, and I could barely drink it through the straw. And I was like, yes, finally I got it as thick as I want it to be. And so I think I had a smoothie almost every day this week, either fresh made smoothie or a smoothie popsicle that I had made with, like, when I made too much smoothie at once, I just put them in popsicle molds. And so I do one or the other most days. And so I've been getting yogurt from that. I don't know if anybody else in the house was eating yogurt. I think my daughter had a little bit once, and then my son might have had some once or twice, but other than that, I think I was the only one eating the yogurt. So I had almost a quart of yogurt in the past week or so, which is great because usually I don't really get probiotics or that much protein, so lots of yogurt. And I finished off the frozen spinach that I had, and I got some frozen cauliflower, and I put that in the one that I made today. I used up a bunch of blueberries already and had to get more, and I'm almost out of the cherries that I got. I might try adding some different fruits in there. I don't know what I would try for that though, because I love blackberries and raspberries, but I don't like putting them in smoothies because the seeds don't really get ground up, and then they're really annoying to drink because it makes it kind of gritty or like crunchy, and then they get stuck in my teeth. And so I don't like to put those in smoothies. I don't like banana in smoothies because it has a pretty strong flavor. I could maybe try mango, but I don't think I'd be able to put a lot in there either because that has a fairly strong taste. I'll have to look in the freezer section and see what different types of fruits they have and see what I could add, because I don't want to do the same or basically same smoothie every time because then I'll just get tired of it. So I want to play around with it a little bit and see what other fruits I can add in there. And I'll keep adding either cauliflower or spinach or both. Sorry, the neighbor's dog is barking. And so I'll keep doing that. I probably won't do it every day or almost every day like I have been, but I'm going to try to do it pretty regularly. And then I hadn't talked about this last week because it hadn't come up yet when I made the video, but with exercise, I had mentioned that I hadn't been doing the hula hooping very much, but I had been consistent with the roller skating. And after last week's video, at some point I talked to my doctor about exercising because I have fibromyalgia, and so I tend to get sore from exercising or even from doing stuff that wouldn't really be considered that much exercise, more than other people. So even like standing for extended periods of time, like standing and doing the dishes and stuff, can make my back start to get really sore, or my legs and stuff. And so I reached out to my doctor and told her that I'd been waking up feeling like my whole body just really stiff and sore, even just from like the 3 times that I had gone skating and then the couple times of hula hooping. And I said that I know exercise is good for fibro in the long run. Like, it's supposed to help with energy levels and pain levels and stuff like that in the long run. But I was like, do you know what would help with it in the short term, so that I'm not waking up feeling super stiff and not wanting to get out of bed? And she said that I might need to like dial it back a little bit and start slow and then build up. So I decided to hold off on the hula hooping for now and just focus on the skating, since that's what I've been able to be consistent with, and I was only doing that 2 days a week. So I'm gonna keep doing that and then just not exercise in between, so I can start to get used to that. And I've already started to not feel as sore in the mornings, and then once I'm like completely used to that, then I can start adding the hula hooping in maybe 1 time a week, and then see how that goes, and then see if I can add it another time, because I don't want to overdo it, because then like I'll wake up and my whole body is stiff and like to the point where like it's hard to even like close my hands like this, because it just feels like I did like this insane workout and was lifting however much weight that's like, I don't know, insane amount of weight, and I'm like, I really didn't even do that much. And so I don't want to overdo it and then feel terrible and have trouble getting out of bed the next morning, or even like the next several mornings. And so I still want to exercise regularly, but want to make sure that it's going to be something that I can actually maintain. So I think I'll stick with skating twice a week, hold off on the hula hooping until I start to get used to the skating again, and then bring that back in. And then I think that will work, because I was going from virtually no exercising to suddenly jumping into it, and that was clearly too much, and my body was like, no, you need to slow down, I don't know what you're trying to do here. And let's see, weight wise, I've still been hovering around the same. I was last week, I think I was like 175 point something, 175.6 I think. And then this week has been like up and down a little, but still around 175 or like 174.8 or so. And this morning when I weighed myself, it was 174.2. So I'm down a little bit. I have noticed then when I have days where I do shorter fasts, it automatically is back up a little bit for the next couple days. But it's been staying right around the same weight, like since I started doing these videos. I haven't gotten below 174 since I started, and so I'm hoping that doing the smoothies and kind of getting, like, filling up on those and trying to not do as much like junk food and stuff like that, and with adding the exercise in. Sorry, there's a helicopter. I'm hoping that will help, and being consistent will help, because I have noticed in the past that when I consistently do the 20-ish hour fast, then I do start to fairly consistently lose weight. And I do need to start doing measurements again, like the circumference measurements, so that I can keep track that way, to see if there's a difference, because I know sometimes the weight will stay about the same for a little while, but the circumference is going down, and so I might be gaining muscle, especially since I'm starting to exercise again. Like, I could be gaining muscle, but the circumference is getting smaller. And I need to do progress photos again. So I think after I record this video, I will take some photos and then I'll add them at the end of this video so that you guys can see, and then I'll go back and look at what the most recent past progress video or progress pictures were that I had, so that we can compare. There probably won't be a huge difference because I've only been doing this for 3 weeks, but just so you can see if there's any difference, because it, like, I'm so glad that I started taking the pictures back when I first started, like, trying to lose weight in general, back in 2020, I think, 2019, which I wasn't really doing a whole lot back then, but I'm glad that I took pictures back then, especially. And then when I started doing intermittent fasting, I'm glad that I was doing the photos kind of sporadically throughout then, because I can see a huge difference, especially from like 2019 and 2020 to now. And if I didn't have those pictures, I wouldn't necessarily know or believe like that there was a big difference, because I still, like, I can kind of tell, like, when I put my hands on my waist, then I can feel a difference, but other than that, I don't necessarily notice a difference physically. And so having the pictures definitely shows me, like, okay, there is a huge difference. And, like, I can see in my app where I was tracking my weight that yes, there is a big difference, because in 2021, I guess, when I started intermittent fasting, I was at 206, and now I'm at 174, so that's a big difference. But it can be hard to visualize that. Like, I can see the numbers and do the math and know, okay, I lost X number of pounds, but it doesn't necessarily feel real until I see, like, the pictures and see, like, oh, I used to look like this and now I look like this, and I can really see it in my face, and I can see it in the side view pictures especially, and so I'm really glad that I had taken those pictures, because when I took the first ones, like, I think the very first one that I have, it's from like October 2019, and I don't even remember why I took that one, because I don't think at that time that I was really doing anything yet to try to lose weight. So I'm not really sure why I took the picture at the time. I don't even remember taking it, but I just happened to find it like later on when I was starting to try to lose weight, and I was making a photo album on my phone with progress pictures, and then I happened to find that one. I was like, oh, well, I'm glad that I found this one from way back then, so that I can have it to compare. But I definitely need to keep up with taking those, because sometimes I'll feel like I'm not making any progress and the scale is staying mostly the same, or like it's changed a little, but it doesn't feel like I'm really going anywhere. But being able to see the difference in the pictures is really encouraging, because then it shows me, okay, yes, this is real. I've been drinking a lot of smoothies this past week, and I was finally able to make them really, really thick. Like, so thick I could barely drink it through the straw, which is exactly how I like them. And I've also been doing really well with the fasting, like I mentioned. This doesn't show the star that I need to put on for the fast of yesterday through today, but I've been doing the long fast almost every day. And this shows the weight that I've been at for the past week or so, right around 174. I put up the measurements showing like from 3 years ago, 2020, to now. This is the chest measurement. It went down from 40 inches to 34 and a half. And then the waist measurement has gone down 9 inches from 39 to just under 30, which is insane. That blows my mind. Like, if I didn't have pictures to show that, it would be really hard to visualize that. Here's the abdomen. That's like, I've been measuring like right under my belly button for that one. That one was only from like early 2021 to now, because they didn't have that measurement as an option in the app previously. And then the hips went down from 49 to 42, which is a pretty big jump also. And then the thighs, they're not exactly the same size, but pretty close. So I only showed one, from 27 inches down to 23, which is, these are all like a really big difference. And in the pictures here, this is from early this year, and you can tell there's a difference in how tight my skin is, like at my lower stomach. And you can see a difference in the stomach. Like, I'll show you in just a sec. Definitely thinned down a little. Like, I don't feel like I look that much thinner from the beginning of the year to now, but I do feel like my skin has gotten tighter and smoother. And so that's reassuring, because one thing that kept me from trying to lose weight for a long time was that I was so paranoid about losing weight and then having really saggy skin and feeling worse about myself than I did before I lost weight. So that kept me from even trying for a really long time. So it's really reassuring to see, like, I would notice myself going through patterns of like losing some weight, and then my skin was a little bit saggy, and then it would start to tighten up, and then I would lose weight and it would be a little bit saggy again, and then it would tighten up, which was really reassuring. And here you can really see the difference from when I very first started trying to lose weight to now. So right around 4 years ago, there's a huge difference, and I'm so glad I have that picture so I can compare, because sometimes it doesn't feel like there's that big of a difference, and it's really reassuring to me to go back and look at that picture and see how much progress I've made. So that's all I have for week 3. I will keep you guys in the loop over the next week, how I do with fasting, with exercising, and keep you up to date on whether I end up losing any weight in the next week or so. And I hope that this helps you if you are trying to do some of the same things that I am and you need inspiration, or you need someone, like, to feel like someone is on this journey with you. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if anything helped you, or if you want to leave a suggestion for something that I could work on or something that you want me to talk about. Definitely let me know in the comments and I can talk about it in the next video. Have a good week.